Hello and welcome to a new season of Top Gear. I'm your host Marcelo Rule, and tonight I want to talk about Japanese cars in America. Now when you think Japanese imports, you think Toyota, Nissan, Honda, Mazda. But when talking about Japanese cars, people seem to always forget their more reasonably priced small car brother. This is the Suzuki SX4. And first things first, yes, this is the same model that Top Gear USA used on their show, so we know it has a racing pedigree. Apart from that one, obviously. This means that Tony Hawk has driven this car. Well, not this one specifically. So Buzz Aldrin hasn't sat right here. I still like the Suzuki a lot. It makes you feel happy. This car in 2007 cost $7,000 less than a base model Audi Sportback, and it surprisingly has more space. Unlike the Audi, the Suzuki also sports all-wheel drive, 5 doors, and 17-inch alloy wheels. But unlike the German Sportback, this Suzuki's exterior was designed by the same man who designed the Fiat 500, and that's not a bad-looking car either. This is brilliant. The Italians and the Japanese should team up with the Germans and make one big... Alright, that's a joke. 2-liter inline-4 engine in this car makes 140 brake horsepower. All this in a car with a curb weight of just under 3,000 pounds. It's brilliant. When new, this car costs around $15,000 for the base model. And for that price, you get a reasonable interior. You get cloth seats, air conditioning, CD radio, plenty of cup holders, and this switch, which allows you to turn on all-wheel drive and lock the center diff. However, owning a 14-year-old car has its drawbacks. The radio, for example, has no Bluetooth, and the aux input is all the way back here. Also, the display is failing. Also, front visibility is hindered even with this giant front windshield because of these massive A-pillars sticking out. It may help with the structural rigidity of the car, but it is a bit hard to see bikers. In early models, the manual transmission doesn't have a 6th gear, so it's good for passing, but 65 is good for fuel economy. So you probably couldn't do more than 100 miles per hour in this car, and it doesn't look like 2007 was a good year for paint jobs either. But after 230,000 miles, this car is still reliable, and its 4-wheel drive has come in handy many times. However, off-roading in this car is less advisable because of its low ground clearance. But who can complain with a car that you can climb under? I'm gonna take my jacket off for this. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Yep. Who can complain with this? Who can complain? Oh God, my belt. Why'd I wear a belt buckle? I did. As I shall now demonstrate. Fine. Oh yes. This is just a genuinely good small car. What a great little car. But now it's time to see how fast it goes around our track, and that means handing it over to our tame racing driver. Some say that he also doesn't know how to pronounce Kamala Harris's name. And if he were Gavin Newsom, he would allow you to change the carburetor on your car without being sent to prison. But all we know is, he's not the Stig, but he is the Stig's digital cousin. And there it goes across the line, 140 brake horsepower. What's the Stig listening to? Well, looks like the Stig is learning to swing its alphabet. You know, for a car that is predominantly front-wheel drive, there was a little understeer. Very, very tidy through there. Now, hammerhead. And remember, if it looks slow, it's probably fast. This is a rule that applies to all reasonably priced cars. Look at that body roll, wow. Second to last, corner. A little bit in the grass there, but it's okay, it's a rally car. Gambon, and across the line. Right, and the Suzuki did it in 1 minute, 35 seconds. That is really not too shabby, and a great time for that car. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have left for this episode, and indeed this series. So thank you very much for watching. Good night now.